Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out
Cool it! This moment will be frozen in time. Freeze! Don't Frostbite. Cool it. I'm not done.
Whew, look at you, booze hound.
Let's spark things up a little. You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy. Don't be...
Breath of the flame!
Quake! Crumble!
Freeze! Dodge this! This moment will be frozen in time.
Crumble! Order guide you. This is order. Quake! Right! I will have order. Crumble! This is order.
Cool it! Don't get frostbite. Dodge this!
You're in for a little shock.
I will have order.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Ah, children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no, no. You've done so much for Lila Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't... When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few...
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glaze lily... You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glaze lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find... But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but... In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Ah, allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yanfei. She's the Yanfei. I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chising. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talk.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. And then after that, they had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the
Is that so? Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's Oh,
Whoa, that's a really thick...
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal... So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal... Best we be a little more careful.
Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good. Very good. All things...
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you...
well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small... Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpin?
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is...
Guaranteed genuine?
Of course. This way, both the client and I...
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives? We'd like to pay...
Oh, of course. She wrote her...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Cross. My associates and I are very...
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their... My family is in the ore business, too. But business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore... A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle, and that's what the hairpins were for, to... Well, to keep up, but now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow.
Huh? Well, I mean...
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that, and given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by...
Except that if we found the hairpins, they're no longer...
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are... Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark anymore.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible... So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpins...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone said my family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past.
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With... You lost them!
I'm sorry.
Mora,
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid...
Of course!
Alright, understood. I'll conduct some mark...
Thank you very much.
Looks like I'll have to...
Please wait, Monsieur Chow. I have some... It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find...
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already...
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change. Monsieur Chow, did you at any time...
No, not at all.
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, He may still have the smaragd.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now.
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. And then he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than us.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to... Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract?
I understand. Then I will be
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last.
This contract has so many pages.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract.
I've had to read through
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will... I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which...
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way... Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go... I've got it! Let's pay a visit to If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly...
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to...
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing service?
A Snezhnayan I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't...
Do you
why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at...
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me... Yes. It's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus Nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite, though...
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell them?
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's...
Miss Yanfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact.
Then I have no further questions. but could I borrow the processing record?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store.
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue.
With this hard evidence to back us up?
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But
Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the
You memorized?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread. Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like read.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened?
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with the jewels?
Crossell? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from... The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only...
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinxie, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called... The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite.
Thank you, Sinxie.
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway.
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him?
Because only he can provide an authoritative... Once we have this final piece of evidence...
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking... And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well. Now that's an even rarer honor. What?
No. I'm here this time to ask...
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information. The Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit. I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the farm.
That is indeed the case. If you would be...
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, but after I gave him my I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if you're pressing business...
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you for penning us that, Doc.
You're too kind.
That Baizhu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation?
Yes, my investigation is...
Wonderful. Well...
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times...
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her?
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly...
Material evidence? What material evidence? I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore...
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please... If we want to determine what... This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and...
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate. In any case, Smaragdus...
That's an unsubstantiated...
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all.
Hard evidence. Something legally binding.
This document proves...
Our second piece of...
You know, you could be right.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence
Well, hang on a moment now, because... Traveler, would you do the honors?
What's this?
Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a prolonged period will, unless... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil... However... I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew?
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine... You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Chow... Mr. Crossell, your answer, please.
Yanfei's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel... I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this... That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus Nephrite. I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite, and especially... I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I...
Exactly! If they were...
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that... If word got out...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your trend...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow,
20%? That's as much as I spent on that
There's no need. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing. However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead?
What? But
Miss Yanfei, I'll turn this...
Well, that's not quite...
Thanks so much for your help.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony.
Well...
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claim.
Is that...
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the orbit. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice...
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over. Even though
the right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for an adeptus... Speaking of, you took part in that battle. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to...
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the smaragdus jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all...
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Gotta...
Oh, you. All right, then.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't... I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking. Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long. There we go. This, hold it firmly. If you were to drop it. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need...
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little help.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a grip, huh? But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Well, you... Still, why is it so... Oh, wait a second.
Well, it seems that we have a visit.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not... hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tub.
So you're the little helper, Madame Ping?
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean... You may leave all matters regarding the... Your journey may be far from over. But at least this way, you will not want for a comfortable place. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have... Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help... You may consider me a butler. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion...
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us...
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare it. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the...
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some... He said that even though subspace creation is a product of... This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief rest.
A golden-eyed adeptus?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never... Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. If there's anything you would like to... Maybe you're not used. Maybe you're not.
Oh, wonderful. Another flower is blooming.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Not so hard! Go, Barrett Bunny!
Windblade! Disappear! With the wind! Windblade!
Yeah!